Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and as you can tell from the title of the video that you clicked on, Resident Evil is getting another movie. And no, not a live action movie, although that is already being done right now, as we all do know. But I'm talking about another CGI movie, which is fantastic. Now, I was looking up about this movie because there's obviously not going to be much about it. There's a lot of speculation about it and everything like that. But the main thing that keeps popping up that we do know is that Leon is returning, which a lot of people are pretty mad about that because, you know, he's been in every single CGI movie. But it makes sense to have Leon Kennedy be in these movies because as a secret agent, he deals with all these things. He's tied to an organization that handles sending people out into the field and doing this stuff. Kind of different from, like, you know, the BSAA and a lot of the other things that you come across and wondering. But that's why he is better suited for these movies sometimes for certain things, or why we can say this is why he's in it anyway. Stuff like that. But the other two characters are returning old school favorites, and one is Chris Redfield, and the other is Rebecca Chambers, who we have seen virtually nothing of since Resident Evil 7. I mean, we saw her in Resident Evil 5's Mercenaries Reunion, and obviously she's coming back in the remastered RE0 game. But this is pretty cool, and we haven't seen Chris in one of these before. Cool fun fact, actually. Curtis Miller from the first CGI movie, Degeneration, he was actually voiced by Roger Craig Smith before Smith got the role of Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for this. It's slated to come out in 2017, probably late 2017. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know what it's going to be. Is it like, I've read that it's going to be a reboot kind of thing. It's got nothing to do with the first two films that came out years ago and everything like that, which I'm kind of thinking, why don't you just continue that? That could just be a lie, though. This could be a continuation. It could just be like fabricated by somebody writing it online to get people hyped up for it or angry or whatever, because that's how the internet works. We all know that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that they do really good with this, and it makes me think, is this going to lead into Resident Evil 7? Kind of like how Resident Evil Revelations 2, I think, will. If you've seen the end of Revelations 2, you know that they're either going to make Revelations 3 or work Revelations into that, because that's kind of how Revelations 1 worked. That worked into RE5 a little bit at the end if you watch the credits and everything like that. So the way Revelations 2 works, if it doesn't go into Revelations 3, it'll go into RE7. Maybe this will tie the three characters into RE7 as well. Because we all know what's happening, we know that they want to make it, and they don't want to fuck it up like they did before, obviously. So, the CGI movies, to me, have always been pretty good. I know a lot of people didn't like the first one, and I am kind of on board that hate train for it a little bit. It's kind of like a love-hate, 50-50 thing. You know, I loved having Claire in it, and Alison Cord came back to voice her and everything like that, but Leon's character was way too serious. Like, everything about him from Resident Evil 4 and even like elements of Resident Evil 2 were gone with this movie. He was like really strict, and he didn't have a lot of the charm that everybody grew attached to, and then which they brought back in Resident Evil Damnation, which was really good because I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. That was a very good movie. I kind of wish there was more characters than just, you know, him, Ingrid Hunnigan, and Ada Wong, but, you know, it was still good. But that's what we're getting now. I'm kind of hoping they announce more characters for this. I mean, another character that I feel like Capcom just forgot about was Jill. Like, we haven't seen her name. Okay, yeah, there was Revelations, there was, yeah, but there was no mention of her in Resident Evil 6, which, you know, a lot of people just tend to forget about that game anyway. But I would have really liked to see her in this too. The three characters are nice, but a fourth one would be better, and I think it would be better suited to be Jill, because you've got three of the original people. I wouldn't mind seeing Barry in it, because in Revelations 2, he was a fucking badass. Like, he was great. His one-liners were just as epic, you know, it's like, who's the master of unlocking now? Break out the beer and nachos. Like, he had everything. But as far as this third CGI movie going, whether it's going to be a reboot, or they're just going to continue off the other two and run it into Resident Evil 7, I'd like to see where they're going, honestly. I would really like to see where they're going with it. I hope it does really well. I'm hoping that the animation's really good, because Degenerations, that was animations for Claire's face in some scenes weren't really that good, Leon's weren't that great. Damnation really improved on it, and I gotta say it was really a much better created movie. Regardless though, What do you all think of this? Are you happy about it? Are you happy we're getting another CGI movie? Because I personally have, and I've talked about this a lot, I've wanted to see a Resident Evil anime for so long. Think about what you could accomplish with the anime. It would be fantastic. But, like I said, is the CGI movie something that you want to see? Do you want to see more of them? And who do you hope that returns in this movie, and what do you think they're going to be facing? I honestly don't know what they could be facing this time, but like I said, let me know down in the comments below, because I'd like to know what everybody else thinks about this. So, please like and subscribe, because it's free, and in this day and age, free's a damn good thing. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.